Now imagine your own mother taking over your marriage. Your mother has snatched your husband from you and they have sacked you from the house. Your own mother. Things are happening. You never know it until you are told. Now, this is a sad story about a lady called Abner. Now, Abner was married, but anytime she gets pregnant, she aborts. The pregnancy aborts naturally, and it has occurred several times, about 3 times. So this time around, when she got pregnant, the doctor had stitched her womb and advised her that, look, you shouldn't do anything. Don't do anything. Just relax, so that you don't jeopardize the pregnancy. So because of that, she needed someone to come and stay with them so the person could take care of the house chores. So she called the husband and told him that she wanted the mother to come and stay with them so that the mother could do some of this work for them. The husband wasn't in favor. The husband suggested his sister, her sister-in-law. But Abner said she will not be able to relate very well with her sister-in-law. She preferred the mother. She could relate very well with the mother. So reluctantly, the husband brought the mother to the house to take care of the house chores. And true to that, the mother was doing well. In fact, she goes to market, she cleans, she does everything. They live on a story building, and Abner was on the first floor. So the mother was occupying the ground floor. When she wants to go to the market, she sits in the car. The husband drives here to the market. In fact, wherever all the errands that she does, the husband takes her around to the place to buy things and the rest. And it has been like that. When she cooks, she carries the food to the first floor to the daughter, because the daughter, she must always rest just to safeguard the pregnancy. One day, Abner decided to go to the ground floor to the mother, to relax and chat with the mother at the ground floor. So she slowly moved down through the stairs and got to the ground floor, sat down, and they started conversing. When they were conversing, the mother had a call. It was the brother, Abner's uncle. And so after the uncle finished talking to the sister, he requested to talk to Abner. So the mother handed the phone to Abner. And so Abner also talked to the uncle. When they were done talking, the mother had a text message. Abner noticed that the mother has received a text message. So curiously, my mother has a text message. Let me find out what it was, curiously. So he went to the inbox, opened the message, and the message read that, "I can't wait to have you tonight." The Abner was, wow, my mother has a boyfriend. In fact, she was happy that the mother has a boyfriend. And so she wanted to find out who this friend was, in case he knew the friend. So we went and looked at the number. And when they looked closely, it was the husband's number. He was shocked. Abner was shocked. My husband sending a message to my mother that he cannot wait to have her tonight. What is going on in the house? What is happening? She kept it to herself. She didn't tell the mother anything. She didn't do anything. She kept it to herself, wanted to find out what will happen that night. So in the evening, she went to bed as usual. And the husband has a habit of waking up at 12 midnight to go to the ground floor to pray. So when it was time, the husband stood up and went to the ground floor, supposedly to go and pray. So when Abner noticed that he has gone, he stood up also from the bed and slowly followed the husband. But when she got to the ground floor, there was nobody there. The husband was nowhere to be found. The husband was not praying. She couldn't hear the husband praying. So she slowly went to the mother's door, and there she heard the husband talking to her own mother. In fact, they were professing love for themselves. The husband was expressing how much he loved the mother-in-law. Abner was confused and shocked. And she doesn't know what to do. At this time, she was around 7 months pregnant, so she doesn't want to do anything to, put her in the arm's way. So she just relaxed and sat behind the door. Not too long, she heard them knocking. Abner's husband was knocking Abner's mother. Abner's husband was sleeping with his mother-in-law, and the things that he normally tell Abner when they are knocking, the same things this man was telling the mother-in-law. Abner the heart was just pounding, but she kept cool. And when they were done, she was waiting for them to finish. And so when they were done, the man opened the door and stepped outside, and Abner shouted, "Hey, darling." The moment the man heard that, he shouted, "Jesus," and then he quickly ran to the first floor, to the room. Then the mother said, "Hey, has she followed you here too? Has she followed you here?" That was what the mother said, Abner's mother. When she heard that Abner was shouting, the only thing she could say was, "Has she followed you here?" And so Abner mustered courage, stood up and held the mother and asked her, "Mother, Mama, do you want to destroy my marriage? Why have you come to my house to do this? Why have you come to our house to sleep with my husband? Why are you doing this? Why do you want to destroy my marriage?" And the mother quickly, escaped from their hand and rushed into a room and locked the door. Abner was started banging on the door and shouting at the mother to come out and explain why she was doing that, why she was sleeping with her husband. So the husband, out of frustration and shame, she wore something, got out of the house, sat in the car and drove away. In fact, Abner didn't know where he went. But the following day, Abner called the uncle, the mother's brother, to inform him of what has happened, so that he could come and sit down and ask the sister what is going on between her and the husband. So at the right time, the uncle came, and Abner told the uncle to ask the sister what is going on between them. When the brother asked, the sister couldn't say anything. Abner's mother couldn't say anything. There and then, the husband knelt down and started begging and apologizing to Abner, how sorry he was for what has happened and the rest. So Abner told the husband that, "Look, I asked you to bring my mother. Tell her to leave the house. Tell her to pack and go." Interestingly, Abner's husband couldn't tell the mother-in-law to leave the house. He couldn't tell her to leave the house. And so out of anger, Abner said, "Well, if my mother doesn't want to leave, I will leave." So Abner went upstairs, packed her things, and left the house. And that was the little mistake that she made. At this time, she was 7 months pregnant. So when she left, she went and stayed with a friend. Not too long after, she delivered. After delivery, she decided that, she wants to put things behind her. She wants to go back to her husband so that they settle this issue. She doesn't want it to become a big issue. In fact, she didn't even tell the friend she went to stay with exactly what happened. It was a disgrace to tell the friend that my mother is taking my husband from me. My mother is sleeping with my husband in the same house. A disgrace. So she didn't even tell the friend exactly what took place, why she has come to stay with her. So she went there with the baby. When she got there, the mother and the husband asked her what was she doing in the house. They were asking her to leave the house. What was she doing there? And the mother was sitting down with the head on the husband. And closely, when Abner observed, the mother was pregnant. The mother has been sleeping with Abner's husband to the point that now she is pregnant for his son-in-law. What an abomination. So Abner started shouting, Mama, you are causing an abomination. What you are doing is an abomination. It is not done. But they refused to listen to her, and they sacked her out of the house with the baby. So Abner went back to the friend, and unfortunately, the uncle who knew the case, who promised to come and settle the issue between them, passed on. The uncle died. So Abner doesn't want to tell anybody because it's a disgrace. So she doesn't want to tell anybody. Doesn't want the thing to become public. So she went and told a pastor that their pastor, and when the pastor brought her to the house, the mother was standing on the first floor, and she refused to open the door for them. In fact, she didn't open the gates, let alone the door to the room for them to enter. They stood there, they talked, they asked, they pleaded. This woman refused, and they left. The woman has taken over the marriage. Not too long after, Abner saw a post of a baby on the husband's page, was a Facebook page, which means that her mother has given birth for her son, her husband has given birth for her husband. Can you imagine? How can you, a mother, come and help me in the house, come and take my husband from me, and then sack me from my matrimonial home? Such wickedness. This is witchcraft. The husband told his family that the wife, has left the house because she was having an affair with somebody else. He didn't tell the family the truth, and so they also believed that the fault is from the wife. And nobody is questioning why the mother-in-law rather is in the house. Now the mother-in-law has given birth for the son-in-law. This is witchcraft. This is wickedness. How can a mother do that to their own daughter? How can you take your daughter's husband from her and take over the marriage? This is witchcraft. In fact, it's very sad. Abner doesn't know what to do and doesn't want to tell anybody. If you think you know what Abner could do, please leave it in the comment section, and do subscribe to my channel on YouTube for more interesting and weird stories like this. Things are happening. You never know it until you are told. See you in the next video.